I'm Dr. Joe DeMarco, chiropractor and owner of OcraMed Health, and today we're talking ankle mobility. Now, I'm the first to admit I got pretty bad ankle mobility. I used to be a gymnast. I beat up my ankles pretty bbad. I've had some more recent injuries, so I'm working on it, and I want to share with you how to loosen it up. In particular, what we're talking about when we're talking ankle mobility, we're talking about the ability to dorsiflex or bend back the foot. Lack of motion in this movement of the ankle can affect walking around. Not being able to move this properly can put stress into the knee, the hip, the lower back, causing pain. Particularly what we're talking about today is we're talking weightlifting, we're talking squats. Lack of dorsiflexion when you're trying to squat can cause a lot of mechanical problems with your squat, and it's going to limit your ability to squat. If you're squatting down and you're noticing one of two things, if you're going down on your squat and you're noticing that your feet want to severely turn out as you go down because of pressure in your knees, your shins, your ankles, that's because you do not have proper dorsiflexion in the ankle. The other thing is, as you squat down, if you feel like your heels want to lift up, that's another sign. So let's look at what's causing it. There's usually one of three possible scenarios that limit dorsiflexion. One is either the calves are super tight back here, and so we'll need to loosen them. The other is you could feel like a jamming sensation on the front of the ankle. That's because the talus bone, which is at the top of the ankle and that meets your shin bone, your tibia, is supposed to be gliding and rotating in this direction like this as you dorsiflex, and sometimes that motion is interrupted or interrupted and tight in there, and I'll show you how to fix that. But third scenario, it's a combination of both. So let's run through a couple tests, see what you can determine. Let's see if we can help you determine what's limiting your ability to flex the ankle back, and let's see if I can give you some things to fix it. First test, simple test, just putting the foot flat against the wall like this. Keep your heel against the wall, and let's see if you can pull the foot back from the wall. Now this is, if you're not able to pull the foot back in this relaxed position and to get your hand comfortably behind it, you actually have some pretty severe lack of dorsiflexion there, and you're going to really need to do some work on it. I don't have great ankle mobility. I can still pull my foot off the wall in this position. When you do it, if you don't feel like you can pull that ball of your foot off of the wall, here's where you're going to try to determine. What's it feel like? Do you feel like when you try to pull, you can't because it's tight here? Do you feel that as you pull back, you're jamming up here? Or, like I said, a combination of both. That's a fairly easy test. Most people are going to be able to do that. If you can't do that, like I said, you have probably more work ahead. The second test is more difficult. I have trouble with this myself. But if we bring the foot up against the wall and we have the toes about 5 inches. Now 5 inches is about the length of my thumb tip to the back of my hand. If you want to measure with a ruler, you can. But that's about 5 inches here when I go in this position. If I have my knee over the ankle, I should be able to bring my knee towards the wall and actually touch my knee to the wall without lifting up the heel of my foot in this position. So I can just about barely do it. Matter of fact, when my knee finally hits the wall, I do lift up just slightly on the back of that heel. So I have some work that I'm still have to do here, and you'll notice if you do too. So you should be able to comfortably do that. If you can't, once again, try to determine what was limiting me when I'm doing that. Am I limited because I have a tight calf? Am I jamming in the front? Or is it a combination of both? So let's take the first scenario. You go to touch the knee to the wall, and you can just feel some extreme tugging on the back of the calf. So we need to loosen up those calves. Now I have a previous video, I'm putting up the link right above me now, on how to roll and stretch out the calves. Check it out. That'll give you some good information on loosening up the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and try to take some tension off the Achilles. But real quick here now, having some trouble back here, it feels tight. What you want to do is a couple different things. Grab a massage ball. This is a Tai Chi ball from OcraMed Health. Get it under some tight and tender spots of the calves and do a couple different techniques. You're going to find maybe a knot in here on the calf that feels tight. Maybe you can tell as you flex the foot back, see where it feels the tightest. Go to that spot, get the ball under there, and about 60 seconds, roll it around in different directions, forwards, backwards, side to side, for about 60 seconds. Maybe find another knot or two, get it under there. Once again, 60 seconds rolling it around in different directions. Try to knead out that tissue with the Tai Chi ball get a lot of blood flow needed out. Next, go back to the original knot and just hold direct pressure down on that knot. You can use your other leg on top if you want. And as you're holding direct pressure down, start spelling out the alphabet with the ankle. That's going to allow some tissue, some fascial adhesions to break up in there, because as the ball is in on the tissue here, now we're moving the calf around in different directions. It's going to create that fascial adhesion to kind of pull apart, break apart in there. So first technique, we're going to roll it around. Second technique, we're going to hold direct pressure and be spelling out the alphabet. After we've done that, some fascial release work, we're going to take a strap. We're going to take a strap and we're going to stretch out the calf. I'm going to put it around the foot. We're going to pull it back with the knees straight. We're going to hold it for about 30 seconds, at which time, after that, we're going to slowly start to put pressure. I want you to push your foot against the strap and hold that for a 10 count. After 10, you're going to bring it back and stretch it again for 30 seconds as hard as you can. Then you're going to press against it again for 10 seconds. Bring it back and stretch it a final 30 seconds. So we're going to do what we call a little PNF technique. I had a video on that earlier, stretching out the chest and shoulders a couple weeks back. We're going to do some PNF stretching on the calf like that. So we're rolling it, and we're going to do some stretching. That should help start breaking up. It's not, breaking up adhesions or tight calves isn't going to happen overnight, but start doing some work with it. Every day, a little bit of work, rolling and stretching out the calf, and it's going to help. If you know any other calf stretches, add them in to help loosen up those calves. Walls, get up against the wall. Typical runner's stretch. Keep the heel down. Stretch against the wall. Try to loosen up the calf in that way. Another great little stretch to do is just actually work that mobility drill that we're just doing. Have the foot back again 5 inches. Try to bring the knee towards the wall. As your calf, if your heel lifts up, that's fine. Let it lift up. Then use your body weight and actually press down into it and try to drive that heel down. And just hold that for a 30 count and do it 3 times on each side. So basically what you're going to do is, if the heel wants to lift up, put the knee against the wall, let that heel just come up off the ground, and then use your body weight to stretch out those calf muscles and press that heel into the ground. So those are some techniques along with that previous video I did on rolling and stretching the calf. If your mobility issue is a result of tight calf muscles that's limiting your dorsiflexion. Next, let me show you how we're going to fix the dorsiflexion issue if it's a matter of the talus bone and the tibia bone not gliding correctly. Okay, so you determine that your lack of dorsiflexion of the ankle is from a jamming of the talus bone on the tibia, because you can feel it jamming up in the front. So here's how we're going to fix that problem. We're just going to need a couple things. We're going to need an exercise band anchored to something, anchored low to something stable. And we're going to need something like this, just a pile of books, something that we can put our foot up on to elevate. The idea being is, if you look at the anatomy of that joint where the talus meets the tibia, it's important to have a downward angle to this band. And the only way we're going to get a downward angle is to have the foot elevated. That's why we have the books here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to put this band around over my talus. Now, be careful when you do this, because I've seen a lot of people, when they do this, they have it up too high and it's over the tibia. Look at the anatomy again and take a look at where the talus bone is in relation to the tibia. It's down low, so we want the band around the talus, not up over the tibia. If you're putting the band on the tibia and you're stretching the foot forward like in this position with the band around the tibia, you're just going to jam this up even worse. So make sure the band's low down on the talus. Have the foot up on some books like this so that the angle of the band is going, so that the pull of the band is not just going back, but it's going slightly down. And then from this position with the band around the talus, you're going to bend that knee forward and let it kind of just work that joint back and forth. You can even come forward and hold it, and then come back. And just let it glide and let it just pull on that talus. And you'll feel it almost like, you can almost feel it let go at a certain point as you're doing this for 15 to 20 seconds. You'll feel that joint just kind of releases in there. You can also do some angles if you want. Turn the foot a little bit this way and kind of go back and forth in the joint, then turn the foot, even angle it a little bit the other way. And so try to hit some different angles in there too. You know, just a little change in direction, a little change in angle, and then go back and, like I said, let that band pull on that talus. And you'll feel it as you do that, like I said, 15, 20, even 30 seconds. You'll feel that joint almost will, you can just feel it almost like let go in there. And all of a sudden the mobility is going to start coming back. So like I said earlier, you know, when we're working on issues where there's some lack of motion, nothing's a quick fix, unfortunately. It takes some work. It takes some consistency. We're going to work on that talus bone if that's an issue, working on the tight muscles of the calf. If that's an issue, we might have to be working on both. And this might be something that's going to take weeks or even months to repair. But keep working at it. You're going to notice increased mobility, and you notice that your squat's going to improve because you're going to have better ankle mobility. These are the type of things we keep an eye on at OcraMed Health. When you sign up for our 90-day fitness program, we're going to build lean muscle mass without the bulk using calisthenic movements along with heavy basic weight training. So go to my website, www.ocramedhealth.com, if you want to sign up for our program now. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to my channel, OcraMed Health on YouTube. Any questions about injuries or exercises, just leave a comment in the comment section below. I always get back to everyone who writes in. And don't forget, OcraMed Health is here to keep you fit forever.